Can y'all hear me? Now can you hear me? Can you hear me?
They're on.
No?
Push button.
Now? Oh. I didn't think I needed a. This thing keeps going off. I didn't even touch it. Okay. So this is the Board of Adjustment meeting for Thursday, July 25th. I do declare we do have a quorum, and with that, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And Sammy, could you do the invocation, please?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for the blessings that you've given us. We pray that you will be with us now as we do the business of our city. Bless us that we can do everything we can to help the citizens. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go into the citizens' comments, and I have one for item number 4 and 2 for item number 2, so I'm going to wait until we get to those, and then I'll go ahead and read what we have and everything.
You might ask if anybody has something to
Oh,
to
does
say
anybody
other
have
than
any-
an item on the agenda.
Okay, does anybody want to speak or make any comments or anything before we move on? This one's number 2, okay. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead, go into the regular session, consider and take possible action to approve the meeting minutes for June 27th, 2024. Joe, look them
I
over.
make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay, this is first Margaret
I'll second it.
and Sammy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and open public hearing. At what time? Well, anyway, 6:02. Discuss and determination of 411 Selfish Lane, Bridge Harbor, legal description, Bridge Harbor, replat A0051, Division 8, BC1C, Freeport, lot reserve, it says PTA boat basin, 200 acres, 11.189, ID number 193507. So with that, I do have some to read here, and then I do have one that Carla, did you want to speak on item 2?
Yes.
Is that, am I doing this right, David? What?
I put number 2 there on the agenda item.
Okay, that's the one we're on.
Yes.
Would you like to come up, can you come up and speak?
Okay, are the people that are here for it, the owners going to speak at all, or? No? I mean, this is a public hearing.
I understand that. Is there anybody in here, in the audience that would like to speak on item number 2?
I mean, are we doing the public?
Go ahead.
hearing Or the citizens' comments? What are we doing?
Well, you said that you wanted to talk. You wanted to talk.
Madam
Go
Chair,
ahead.
may I? I think it's really appropriate at this time to have staff give a general kind of description about what we're talking about, and then we'll entertain citizens.
Okay, go Shelby. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm making sure I am on. Okay, so this is in regards to 411 Sailfish for Bridge Harbor Yacht Club. So I did actually present you guys with a site map of the docks in which we are discussing. The owner listed on Brazoria County is the BHYC Marina LLC. Docks B, C, E, and H have been deemed dangerous by myself on July 14th of 2024. The boat docks that were deemed dangerous had posted notice of dangerous building, and management was informed to have the gates locked for no public entry. This is Dock B and C after the storm damage that you can see on the PowerPoint. This property has been in front of the Board of Adjustments already, and the owner was given 60 days to come up with a plan of action. Docks B, C, E, and H have been deemed dangerous already by myself, like I said. Dock E has significant structural damage and roof has partially collapsed. The dock walkway was damaged and worn loose and is not safe for use and occupancy, hence why it was locked. Dock D appeared structurally sound at time of the walkthrough. The building suffered roof damage. The dock walkway was sound in condition at the time I did the walkthrough, and it was anchored, and roof repair is needed. Building F, which has the apartment units, parts of the roof has blown off. Repairs are needed to Dock F. Dock H, as you can see from the pictures there in the PowerPoint, that the front facade has partially collapsed and the remainder is leaning on the verge of collapse. Staff recommendation is for the demolitions of Docks B, C, E, and H, and repair for Docks D and F.
Okay. Are the owners here? Would you like to make a comment? Come up, please, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. I know that the public, especially the neighbors, are really sick and tired of looking at the derelict condition of or bad condition of Bridge Harbor Yacht Club. And I personally would like to apologize to them because I haven't been able to repair this property entire last year. My elder brother was sick with cancer and he passed away last month. So I haven't not been around at all. Last year when city reached out to me, I did an assessment of the property and determined that it required a large sum of money to repair this property properly. I did not have those resources, so I made the logical choice of selling the property to somebody who has the means to repair this. The property went under contract in January of this year. That buyer fizzled out in a couple of months, and then we tried to auction off the property to somebody who has the means to repair this properly, bring it to its former glory. I understand that this has been a landmark in Brazoria County. It's known for its glory days, its heyday. So about 60 days ago, the property did go under contract to local Brazoria buyers, and it was supposed to close on the 19th of this month, right before Beryl hit. Beryl hit, we had a lot of damage as noticed by the city. So the buyers have actually paused. They have not backed out. They have just paused until the insurance adjuster can come out and their contractor can come out, look at the damage, and they want me to adjust the price of the contract according to whatever repairs are needed. I am willing to make whatever concession is needed or required to make this sale happen. I want some people who have money, affluent people who can come in, turn this property around, and make it safe and attractive to the local people, increase the value of the neighborhood. I understand that because of the condition of the property, the neighborhood values are going down, and I apologize to public for that. If I had money to do this, I would have done it, but I think the best course of action was to sell it to somebody who could fix it. So I urge the board to give me somewhere between 30 days to solidify the deal with the customers, and they are willing to do a cash closing quickly as soon as these determinations are made by the independent contractors. Because of the recency of this storm, even the insurance adjuster hasn't come out yet. They are telling me they'll come out in a week or so. So same thing with vendors. The contractors are going all around fixing people's homes and roofs and commercial buildings. They want to come on their schedule and just give a number. I don't need them to repair this because the new buyers are going to repair this, and their plan is actually to remove all of these roofing structures. According to our initial conversations, they want to remove all of these docks and put in floating docks, and they want to bring the clubhouse to back to normal working order. They also intend on bulkheading the entire marina, including the shipyard. And those plans, if they have not been shared with the city manager, I would urge them, the customers or the buyers, to share them with city manager, Mr. Lance, in the near future. As soon as, we have a better direction of where this contract is going. They are scheduled to visit the property this coming Wednesday. We also have a backup buyer. Once again, I don't have the means to fix this marina. All I can do is make it safe for the public by permanently locking all the docks that have been deemed dangerous. I will stop public access to any area that the city feels that I require to block it off, or for public safety, any action the city requires me to do, I will comply with it until this case is settled. Once again, if I had millions of dollars at my mercy, I would have spent on it. I don't. Logical choice is to sell it, and that's what I'm working on. I've been working on it. I have contracts to prove, signed, executed contracts. Those people still have money in the escrow with the title company. I can provide information to city if needed, but I am doing everything on my part to make this happen. It's the 4 days of bad luck that Beryl came in and destroyed all these roofs. Otherwise, it would have closed on the 19th. As a matter of fact, this year has not been kind on me. Lost my only sibling, the brother, and he was 17 years older to me. God bless his soul, and Lord have mercy on his soul. And I'm going through this Beryl. My insurance does not cover Beryl. The coastal area is known for named storms, so my insurance specifically says no named storm, so they're not covering it. I'm fighting with them as well. If they would pay me, I would have removed all these roofs and structures. Now I 100% agree with the city's findings on the dock status or the structures, except for dock E, where I believe that the dock itself is fine, but the roofing structure makes it unstable, and if I need to, we can remove that roofing structure. But like I said, I'm having a hard time people come in and give us even estimates at this point in time. The hurricane has been so soon. We have just been hit with Beryl, and I'm just wrapping my mind around this whole situation. And finally, in my final comment, once again, I will apologize to the public. They were expecting new owners to come in 3 years ago and, just dump $4 or $5 million in this project and make it happen. A lot of people don't even realize that it takes about $1.2 million just to do the bulkhead around this 24.1 acre, tract of waterfront. And then replacing these docks, that's another couple $1 million. So there's a lot of money that needs to go in. I was naive when I bought it. I thought that I could do it in $1 million or so. I have put in my personal around $1.5 million of my own money, and to the point where I'm almost out of money. I'm struggling with the bank, and I'm struggling with personal life, just to keep this thing afloat until it sells. It's in my best interest and the city's best interest to allow this deal to happen, and have somebody come take care of this. I'm not allowed to reveal any information, but most of these, or some of these buyers are local. They have been around since the marina was put up in 1984. I am very confident that these people have the capability and the means to actually repair it and fix it and bring it to its previous glory. That's it. Any questions for me, Madam Chairman?
A quick question never mind. No, I don't have anything.
No, sir, at this time, it's really just a public hearing, so when we get to the action item, they may have additional.
I got you. Thank you so much.
What was the gentleman's name and address?
He's right there.
What was his name? He didn't announce it on the.
Yes, he did.
Okay, what is it?
What is your name? Okay, I heard him speak.
My name is Mobin Akhtar. I represent Samtex BHYC Marina LLC. I'm a managing member.
Okay, now with that, I can go ahead and, can I go ahead and read the comments that we
Well, I
received?
think at this point, it's still a public hearing, so I think you need to entertain any other public comments, and then. at this
Anybody
time-
else besides what I have here? I got a, well, I said, you said I couldn't ask any questions, so I'll ask later.
Am I the only one?
Well, I have some.
Again, we're in a public hearing, so we're just receiving public comments.
Okay.
And then when we
This is a
stop that,
comment.
when we go into the actual discussion and action part of it, you can entertain questions from anybody that you.
Okay, this
you
is a
see.
comment that we
You
received.
absolutely can read that into the
Okay.
record.
Okay, go ahead and I'll
Me
read,
to go first.
go ahead.
Carla Clark, 411 Sailfish. I live in Bridge Harbor condos, number 104. In 2020, the Samtac company, Mr. Akhtar, purchased this property. Since that time, he has done no repairs to the property whatsoever at all. No bulkheading, very little mowing. The people that work there do not even have a lawnmower. They have one employee that has a push mower that mows 11 acres. He will not pay for that to be done. So the conditions are unsafe. The community was once thriving, but with false promises and claims that we will have it taken care of, it's never happened. In 2023, he presented a document to the city that the property was sold. Well, that was another smoke and mirror commitment that never happened. In this year, on April 25th, it came before the Board of Adjustments. And again, on April 30th. And you gave him 60 days to make a plan of action. Of course, he wasn't here, nobody from that company was here at all for those meetings. But you gave him 60 days to make a plan of action. That didn't happen. On your next meeting, it was not even on the agenda. And that was the end of the 60 days, and it just was left on. Then Beryl came. And so now we're finally getting to this. This has been a constant problem in this area that was once, as he said, a thriving community. There are debris everywhere. He has 3 to 4 men working. They don't even have shovels or anything. They brought a truck down today. They had no vehicle to put anything in, to haul things out of there. They are working, but they've not done anything because they don't have any equipment. The city and the Board of Adjustments has failed the citizens on Bridge Harbor, the subdivision and the condos, and it's time for action to salvage what is left of once a thriving community. This property needs to be shut down. It can be taken by eminent domain. The city can take it and take care of it, and then they can sell it for salvage value. But this owner, by his own actions since 2020, has not maintained any type of effort to maintain the property. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read these. These are, it says, hello, it says, it has come to my attention that there is an upcoming meeting concerning Bridge Harbor, and I would like to share my concerns. It says, I own 2 properties in Bridge Harbor, 41 Marlin and 71 Dolphin. I would like to express the aggravation of owning property across from the yacht club. For years, we have had rotten lumber washing up in the dock on a daily basis. Every time we have a storm surge, all the debris that they piled up on the parking lot flows onto neighboring property. There has been multiple boats sink and remain in the canal for years. We, neighboring boat owners, have recently found problems of electrolysis on our boats. We have gone through the canal and found there is an amperage in the water that gets just dangerously high around the yacht club. We have seen where they have electrical wire hanging down into the water. The last hurricane destroyed one of the docks, and nothing has been done start protecting the area. There are pieces of structure that are close, falling down dangerously and probably completely block the canal from boat travel. I'm going to attempt to attach a photo taken on 7/24/24 from the dock. It shows the oil and gas floating. I'm sorry, I was looking at my monitor. On the water from the destroyed and abandoned boats in the slip of the yacht club. You are welcome to come from either of the docks. I am asking you to please take action on this issue with no excuses. This has gone on for years and not a new problem, but definitely a continuous problem. Thank you, Kelly Bonds. Okay? And then I have another one. Okay, this one says, Bridge Harbor was once the first-class marina. We had a boat there since 1985 and presently own a condo at Bridge Harbor. It was such a shame to see the deterioration over the past 40 years due to neglect. We hope that under new ownership it can be brought back to a higher standard. And this was sent by Steve and Wendy Kruger. Okay? Any more comments or anything? Come, fill out one of those things. State your name, sir.
Mark Parker, 76 Dolphin Lane, Bridge Harbor. Couple of things that you guys might need to know. The other day, out in front of my house, big oil slick, some kind of a slick. I wasn't real sure what it was, but it was a lot more than normal. And so I called the Coast Guard first, talked to those guys, call the NRC guys next, talk to those guys. And I think that maybe some of those boats that are sunk, we got some stuff coming out of them. And there was a big houseboat that was brought in there, moored up, and then when we had the storm, it ended over on my neighbor's house and everybody else's houses. And I'm not sure, you know, I've driven over there. I know several of the guys, I know Billy, a lot of us, we've been concerned about it. And I just talked to Moby, and he told me that it was biodiesel, which some of that stuff is not biodiesel. But I guess the main thing on my talk is I got a duck that's out there floating around, and he comes over and we feed him all the time, and I'm worried about him. So with that in mind, I think environmentally we've got some issues with TECQ. I know that I also contacted the GLO and asked them to come and take a kind of a look at it. I don't know if Moby's got guys over there, if they're sampling the water or whatever it is, but I think that's just a preparation of what's already been there for a long time. So that's kind of another little added piece of information. Try to protect my duck.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Any more comments or any? One more. Gracias. Okay, this one is Mark Parker.
Oh, he just spoke.
He just talked. Duh, you're trying to confuse me. You're doing a fine job. Okay, any more comments or anything? So then I have to. So do I close this meeting now? Okay, so at this point, I close the public hearing. And now we can close the hearing and take action on the Bridge Harbor and any concerns we have.
Correct. I think at this point, it's time for y'all to discuss the matter. Is this on?
Yes.
Talking with staff, I mean, we're kind of between a rock and a hard place with this thing. I think staff recognizes that he is attempting to sell the property. I think staff is willing to allow the owner to work with the city, with this potential buyer, to come up with a plan. I don't think the city's willing to extend that to more than 30 days. The problem is, after the 30 days expire and they don't comply, what are we left with? Talking with the city manager, I mean, we're $1 million plus for us to have to demolish or remove this property. And frankly, the city doesn't have the resources. So I think two things. Our recommendation would be, let the city try to work with this owner and the potential buyer to see if there's an actual workable game plan here. If not, then after the expiration of those 30 days, I think between now and then, Lance and I are going to just have to explore options to deal with this. If we have to step in and deal with it. And I think you all recognize if we have to go in there and demolish this structure, I mean, most of it's underwater. We don't have the resources. We're going to have to third-party that out. It's going to be a lot of money. And under the law, the best we can do is assess a lien. And frankly, do you think we'll recapture that money? Or does that just go by the wayside and we lose that entire property? So I think, Shelby, if you're okay, I think our recommendation is to allow us, the order would be tonight, to allow us 30 days to work with the owner and the potential buyer to come up with an actual plan to deal with this. And I encourage y'all to recognize that these types of construction plans, you know, typically if we're dealing with a substandard house or something, giving them, 30, 60, 90 days to fix that problem is reasonable. I don't think that those timelines are going to work in a situation like this. So we're just going to have to explore options, and if we have something to bring back to you, we will. Otherwise, we're just going to have to figure out at the staff level how to deal with this.
What if we recommend to go with Shelby's recommendation and to condemn this and then negotiate with his buyers to get it taken care of?
Well, she's already condemned it. It's been condemned.
Sorry.
So really, your job here is to either instruct the city to demolish or move forward with some other plan. Those are your options. And frankly, demolition at this point, I don't know if it's practical. So we need to really work with the owners, with the potential buyers. So we're already there. It's already been condemned. I think you can instruct us to go sit down with the owner and the potential buyer and say, listen, you have 30 days to come up with a game plan to deal with this that we can bring back to the board for approval. If not, then frankly, Lance and I are going to have to figure out some way to deal with it.
Well, if we've got oil leaking out of those boats in the water, we can't wait 30
concern.
days
If you
to
want
take care of that.
if you want to order immediate remediation of those kind of things, that's
Yes.
fine. Again, you're putting the burden on the homeowner. You're giving him a certain amount of time to deal with this. I'm not sure how much time you want to give him to deal with stuff like that. I think that makes a lot. I don't know what other immediate environmental issues besides, I mean, this is oil leaks from a sunken boat or something like that, or?
Well, there's a dozen sunk boats there.
If it's a danger to the public, that's my concern.
And
I do environmental.
Everybody's concerned. So
Well,
what is,
yeah.
what's y'all's plan to fix that?
Well, I had a couple of comments. Can I?
This is absolutely the time for that. Yes.
My comment is, I'm concerned about the public out there and having to deal with that, and I'm also concerned about that little duck that you're feeding. I'm an animal lover. I mean, I've rescued a lot of little birds and everything, but that's just me. The other concern I have is that all these years, I mean, is that thing been closed down and condemned like nothing's supposed to be happening? Nothing's supposed to happen out there? What about that building where they used to have parties, or the restaurant? Is that supposed to be closed also to the public?
No, it's just.
No?
Right now, I'm addressing the ones,
You're just doing the docks?
I guess my mic actually died. Here, I'm gonna-
Here, we'll share.
So right now, I've actually gone out and do the ones that are the immediate life safety hazards. So the docks that have actually collapsed into the water that pose any type of TCEQ standard, the ones that have collapsed on top of the boats, so Dock C, Dock E, also structurally unsound. The boards have actually come up, and it's pretty much unsolvable. The repairs, everything, it would cost a mint. But the ones that I have actually addressed are the ones that are immediate life safety hazards. That's why I had them chain it shut for public access. So that's all I can do as in terms of that right now.
Yeah, my concern is that there, if people are going up in that area up there with the steps falling apart and everything else, that's a safety hazard for people. They need to not use that.
And I can take care of
please.
That will be addressed, just not,
Thank you.
Separately
not
from-
tonight.
Okay, that's fine. Well, that's part of the whole thing.
It's not part of tonight.
It's not?
It's not.
It's
Well, what
just
about the
this.
owners of those boats? They're
Yeah.
liable for the fuel and oil in them.
They very well may be.
Can,
Wait,
there's income coming into Bridge Harbor, correct?
No idea.
Well, it
To
seems,
these piers,
if this place has been condemned,
that,
or these buildings have been condemned,
correct.
and there's income coming in, and the city, I'm a homeowner here, I don't want to take it on. Can the city seize this income that's
No.
coming in and use it?
It's not, no, that's not how this process works, but I do think that's a great question for the owner. He's here, or one of the owners, speaking on behalf of the ownership, and whether or not there's income. But no, that's not part of the legal process. Really, the only thing we can do is require them to fix the problem. If they don't fix it, we can step in and fix the problem and assess a lien for the cost we incur to fix the problem.
It's strictly.
That's,
these things
that's part of this process.
put a lien on it, or whatever.
But we're not in the, I mean, it would take a whole different lawsuit to try to do something that you're speaking of. Really not part of y'all's job tonight.
Yeah, I was just looking at some kind of.
No, I
something-
appreciate that.
Something for immediate, I mean, if I lived there and I seen all this in the water, I would be concerned also. And I'm concerned I don't even live there.
Same here.
But, I don't know. I don't really have any answers to the
No,
problem.
this
but,
is a
I
tough
know
one.
Y'all do need time to work with them. I do agree with you
Well,
on
I
that.
think
I
that
do
it'd be worth our time to see if the owner's willing to work with us and the potential buyer to see whether we can come back with a plan in the next 30 days.
Don't they have, things they can put in the water where this leak is and stuff? Can he be put in a position to have to take care of this immediately for these homeowners that are around there sharing this waterway with him?
Do we have recommendations as it relates to that kind of stuff?
This is not our job, y'all.
We did speak with Mingo today. The Coast Guard has been out. They have stopped the leak, but as in terms that we can enforce something to actually have him take care of it within the time frame.
The Coast Guard's satisfied with the condition of the water there.
So.
Can you come up and speak if you're the one that talked to them?
Okay, this morning, there was some calls about the sheen on the water, and the Coast Guard and the General Land Office both have been out there and looked over the place and had cameras and videos, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from. As far as the sunken boats that people have been talking about, those many of those have been there before Moby's there, and they are listed on the General Land Office to have them come and get removed. But they have deemed that there's any kind of petroleum product coming out of them. They couldn't figure out where I guess the petroleum. They don't know what exactly it was because it was like yellow. They couldn't figure out what it was, but they did seem able to just put it as a mystery spill, and they could not determine where it was coming from. And as far as fuel, we no longer have fuel tanks over there above ground, so there's no fuel being dispersed at all over there.
We haven't sold fuel in 6 months. Oh, thank you. We haven't sold fuel in 6 months. The boats that are being mentioned, Beryl did not sink any boats. These boats have been sunk before I purchased the marina mostly, and they have no fuel in them to leak. The GLO, I actually talked to the GLO gentleman, I don't know his name, he was out there 10 minutes before this meeting, when I arrived, and he said this is some kind of biodiesel sheen that they are also noticing in the harbor next door, in the intracoastal, if it was something to do with us, I would be the first one to jump on it. I have a master's in biomedicine. I know what petroleum products can do to wildlife and humans. And if it was something like that, I would have called GLO for help. And as far as I would just have one final comment. Every single place, every single dock that they said was danger to the public, we have already locked, chained. Nobody can go there. Nobody can access them. We are moving boats from the broken docks using our employees 2 docks that have been deemed safe by Ms. Shelby. And we are working with them diligently. And then again, my final comment is, all of this leads to what's the solution? My solution is to work with the only one buyer I have. And if that doesn't work out, I'm willing to work with city, and until this place gets sold, if this buyer doesn't buy it, maybe we ought to put it back in the auction and sell it to the highest bidder. That's all I can do.
I'm confused, sir, because you said you had a backup buyer and now you're saying you do not?
No, ma'am, I did not say that.
You
that-
did.
No.
I took notes,
No,
and
no,
you
I'm
said
not-
that you
I'm
had a
not saying-
backup buyer.
Okay.
And now you're saying that you might not have a backup buyer and that you're going to
I
work
have
with
2
the city?
backup buyers.
Okay,
I will
thank
say
you.
that.
I just
I'm
needed
just
to- I
saying
needed that
if this
clarification.
buyer-
Thank you.
No problem. If this buyer does not work out, I will sit with Lance, because getting another buyer means another diligence period, more time, and the city has to be on board for that. You guys have to be on board for that. So my best interest, everybody's best interest, cities, is to work with this one buyer that I have right now that is willing to move forward, and at whatever cost, I will move forward with them. But if it does not work out for, they can wake up tomorrow and say, no, I don't want to do this. Or maybe I don't want to deal with City of Freeport, maybe I don't want to deal with coastal property. People change their minds and I can't control that. But I am assuring this board that I will work with Lance, Patty, Ms. Shelby, and the attorney, I don't know his name actually. What is your name, sir? David? Yeah, I'm willing to work with David Olson and the city officials into coming up with if they need to sit with my broker or my potential customers, I'm willing to do that. Anything that city asks me to do. I'm open to that. I'm here to solve this issue. I'm not here to buy more time. I'm not here to avoid these questions or avoid these public
Okay.
accusations.
Yes, sir, appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, I have
Okay.
one more comment, but go ahead, David.
No, I was going to say, I think we've talked
It's a
this
done deal,
to
yeah.
death. So
Agree.
really talking with the city manager, we're in a tough spot here. So I think in order, giving them 30 days to work out a plan to deal with this with the city makes sense. That'll give us time to figure out a way to deal with it if we can. And frankly, if that resolution doesn't work, we'll come back to you with more information. But right now, I think that's the best we can do.
I agree. I'm going to go ahead and have one more comment. Go ahead, Carla.
Carla Clark, 411 Sailfish. I wanted to ask Mr. David, what exactly does condemnation constitute? What is condemnation, and what does that mean for the people that live out there? What's going to be done immediately? Condemnation is done now. What is it? What are we providing? I also want to ask, we're talking about the cost to the city. Think you should check with the water department. There's been water that's been flowing. They're way behind on their water bills, their sewer bills. All of that is way in arrears. So that's a cost right there that needs to be addressed. And the reports that they just spoke of, I think that y'all need a copy of those, and the city needs a copy of those immediately. If they were done, then y'all need a copy. Because we have had promises and promises and promises from this man, and it's not ever produced any evidence. Thank you.
Quick question. Shelby, do y'all get those reports whenever he claims that he's done all this stuff?
Yeah, so
You
he
did?
actually did say that the Coast Guard did come out and he said he was going to provide a letter to us, and I would like to have that letter, Mingo, if you can provide that to me, please. All right, thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Any more concerns, comments, or anything?
No, I would like to clarify, though, when we talk about condemnations, really in 2 different contexts. We can condemn property as government to use it for public purposes. She has deemed the property dangerous, which is condemning it for existing use until we take certain steps to fix it. It's really 2 different things, so that just, okay.
Okay.
And those
Good.
locks on the gates out there, I believe the city has pictures of those gates being
Okay.
wide open as
Thank you. Okay. Okay, now here we go now. Would anybody like to make a motion or action do we want to take on this?
Lance, what's your opinion? The city manager.
He says no comment.
Well, I believe the city has worked with the owner for quite some time now. And yes, it is not in the best interest, I don't believe, of the city to take on the responsibility to demo all that because of the expense of it, and we'd be stuck with that financial burden of it. But I definitely wouldn't give more than 30 days to move forward, and I'll address council at the next meeting to see how we want to go about it if we need to move forward with the property.
I agree. Okay. You want to make a motion? I'll make a motion to go ahead and give them 30 days for them to work with Shelby and the city. And then 30 days, we come back and look at it and see where we're at, or if anything's been done or not, or.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, so that was number 2. Item number 3, I'm going to go ahead and open the public meeting at 6:41. And oops. So discuss and determination of repairs on the roof at 215 East Park, legal description, Freeport, Block 31, Lot 4 through 5, ID number 2020924. Discussion.
Wonder if my mic, okay. So 215 East Park, this structure has been in front of the Board of Adjustments for several times with more time given to obtain a permit for the repair on the roof. As of July 25th, 2024, there has been no permit obtained.
There's been no action or any activity or anything there?
So as in terms of that, the only stuff I have actually seen is after the barrel damage. I have not seen any type of repairs or anything going on at that property. And as in terms of the owner, she did actually come in and try to apply for a permit, but apparently they were still going out for bids. The metal roofing has rolled back, and on the front and the back of the structure from the storm damage, there are portions of the roof in the rear of the building, and they are on the ground. There is potential hazard for that metal roofing to blow into the neighboring structures and possibly into the easement of the alleyway and possibly cause damaging structures to the other tenants back there. Also, the building isn't secure at this time, so any securing has been blown off from the storm and is open to attract the vagrants in the vicinity. Staff recommendation is to proceed with civil penalties. And you can see the current pictures that we're taking
Yes.
today.
Does anybody have any comments, Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I went by there and I've been looking at this, but go ahead, David.
I think it's just, after, nobody wants to speak during the public hearing, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing, then enter
Go ahead and close the public hearing. And then ready to take action on 215 East Park.
I agree with, take the staff's recommendation on it and start the civil penalties.
Okay. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
No. Nope.
Now we're on item number 4. Sorry, I have too much paperwork here. Okay. The item number 4, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing on that one at 6:45. And this is request to repair or demolition of the unsafe structure located at 222 West 12th, legal description, Southview Gardens, Freeport, Block 8, Lot 20, ID number 251569. Discussion.
The first notice was sent on December 12th of 2023 to repair the structure. There has been several other notices sent for repairs. As of July 25th, 2024, there have been no repairs made to the structure. An administrative search warrant was issued on July 2nd, and the structure was declared a dangerous structure by myself. The city has maintained the property, cut the grass, and removed debris for the last 2 years with placing liens on the property. There has been contact with the owner through code enforcement, and the owner stated that she does not have the funds to repair the structure. There was a large tree that fell on the back of the structure, which caused massive roof damage. There is mold all throughout the structure from the roof not being repaired. The structure is currently unsafe for occupancy in its current use. The staff recommendation is for demolition due to the amount of damage.
I do have Erlinda Flores. Would you like to come up and speak, please, ma'am?
No, I can speak.
Is it open?
I've been trying to ask for help for so many years. It's not that I don't want to do what I need to do for my house, but I can't. I don't got the money to do it. My kids were raised there. I don't want to get rid of my house. I need help. I fell and I broke my cervical too. I can't stay there by myself.
Do your kids live here locally? No?
You do not, where do you reside now?
Right now I'm living with one of my friends, and it's just not right when I have my home, but I can't.
There is nothing we can do to help.
I've spoken with Mr. Bob for all of this too, what's been going on. But I'm not ignoring nobody. I'm trying my best to find help here and there, and I just haven't had people that don't really need the help. They get it in full hands. I don't know what to do. Like, how can I get that help as like they do?
How long has it been in this shape? How long have you been out of the house?
I just can't remember to tell you the truth. I broke my cervical too, and I don't remember a lot of stuff sometimes.
Like a year, 2 years?
Into what, Mama?
That you haven't been able to live in it? That it's been like this?
Well, I go and I do a little bit of cleaning in there, whatever I can, but in and out. When I fixed up the windows on the outside and the kids' neighbors, but I don't have any proof, and I know it's them. They keep on breaking my windows in my house. I've already fixed it twice.
So I do want to reiterate here, when we actually did go to the property and everything, she still does have a lot of potential items in the home. So as in terms of recommendation, I would possibly think 90 days for her to be able to remove the items from the home that actually she can retrieve, and possibly come up with a plan of action for demolition within 90 days.
That's your recommendation?
Yes, sir.
I don't want my house to be breaking down.
Recognize that, I mean, that's all we can do. That's the longest period that we can give this young lady. to not only come up with a plan, I mean, if there is a plan you can come up with in 90 days to actually fix the property, we're absolutely here to entertain that. If not, then either you come up with a plan to demolish or we're gonna have to demolish it. But that'll give you 3 months to remove all your personal items and everything of importance, okay? But that's staff's recommendation.
I make the motion to accept the staff recommendation.
I'll
So I need to,
second
hold on. Do I need to close the public hearing?
It was closed, I
Yes.
thought already.
Huh?
I thought you'd already.
No, I haven't. She was speaking. Go ahead.
I think that's fine. You can go.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
that. You
First.
did, and I second.
And Sammy. Okay, to go ahead and give her the 90 days?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, moving on. Item number 5.
Who seconded that, by the way? I'm sorry. Okay.
Sammy.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, not, item number 5. Oops. Excuse me. This is, I want to open the public hearing for item number 5. What time is it? 6:51. Okay. This is request to repair or demolish the unsafe structure located at 1719 West 9th, legal description, Freeport Block 187, Lot 20, 21, 22, property ID 210762. Discussion.
Okay. So the owner listed on Brazoria County Appraisal District is Larry Pinkney. I declared this a dangerous structure on July the 2nd of 2024. There have been 17 police calls on this property.
Oh, no.
There is a vagrant staying in the structure without any utilities, no water, electricity. The code department has addressed the property. There has been at least 20 calls from the people in the neighborhood with complaints on this property. The city has cut and cleaned up the property several times with liens being placed on the property. These are the conditions of the exterior of the property. Pool is full of green water, overgrown grass and vegetation, trash and debris, and a dismantled RV. The fence around this property is dilapidated and is a safety hazard to the neighborhood. This house is a nuisance to the neighborhood, and the fence that has fallen gives the view of the overgrown yard, the trash, debris, and swimming pool full of the water, which is a mosquito harborage. The staff recommendation is for demolition, and the current pictures that you see in front of you are from today. And as you can see, the RV is now maybe about 10% of what the previous picture showed.
Jim, how many lots are involved in that? Because that's a big area.
3 lots.
3 other
Lots.
3?
3.
Let's finish the public hearing, then we'll get into the
Okay.
discussion part.
Any more comments? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and open to take action on 1719 West 9th. Now you can ask.
Well, I'll take staff recommendation because this place is terrible.
Yes, staff recommendation is to demo, and then, of course, that swimming pool does need to be filled in with the demolition.
Yes.
Can I make a quick clarification question?
Yes.
Some of the photos have the address of 1727,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, they
and we
did.
just needed to clarify that those really are for
It is correct, it is
1719.
1719,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
figured we might want to clarify that. Thank you.
Yes.
The people at 1727 might be upset.
Recognize for
Yes,
purposes of the record that all notices were given out to the proper
Correct.
address.
Yes.
This is just an error in the presentation.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I
Okay.
will say that this property at one time was some of the ranking people in Freeport on that, the Davenports. And it was a really nice place, but it's not at this point. It's terrible.
Okay, so what was the recommendation or the action? Motion?
To demolish.
Go ahead and demo.
I'll second that.
Just want to make sure that includes filling in the pool.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
And you want it in 30, 60, or 90?
30.
30 days.
First is Ken, and then Margaret, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Hey, I got number 6. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Everybody? Okay,
I'll second that motion.
okay.